issue.
I remember very clearly this moment when I realized that the more impossible the dream is, the more opportunity there is for the Lord to show up and do what only He can do. I had studied journalism, and throughout my time in university, I became more interested in social justice issues. And I was like, well, I know how I could do this. Ever heard of Nick Kristof? Journalism plus social justice, like, here we go. So it turns out when you're 22 and you've never really traveled and you've never really had a real job in journalism, the New York Times is very less than interested in hiring you to travel around the globe and tell these stories. I actually had not the first clue about how the world worked. But the Lord had laid something on my heart. I felt this call, and so I decided to buy a one-way plane ticket to Uganda. I got connected to Cornerstone Leadership Academy, this incredible 2-year college prep program for the brightest young women in the country, where they had come from and what they had overcome to just be sitting here at this high school just humbled and challenged me. These young women were facing this 9-month gap between high school and university. Back in the village, they faced the incredible amount of social pressure to get married, to start having kids, to not continue their educational path. And then also the reality of them not being able to find a job to pay for university. All of this energy to really become change makers and leaders in Uganda could really dissipate. All of a sudden, those massive social justice issues became 25 faces in a very specific problem. I knew that we needed to create jobs. One of my friends from back home actually suggested, what about those strappy, funky sandals that you made in college that everybody loved? So I went to the school and I hired 3 young women, Mary, Mercy, and Rebecca, and I showed them how to make these sandals. And I said, if you make these sandals for the next 9 months, I promise that you'll go to university in the fall. A few months later, I headed back to the US and started selling sandals out of the back of my car. By the end of that summer, we had sold enough sandals to send Mary, Mercy, and Rebecca to university. Several years ago, we were 3 women in a patch of grass making sandals underneath a mango tree, and today we're the largest footwear producer in Uganda. What we're trying to do at Seiko is really hijack the traditional overseas manufacturing and production model and instead create space where women become more of who they were created to be. We provide them with not only a fair wage, but full comprehensive health insurance. And we launched the Seiko Fellows Program, which enables women in the United States to sell the product, to earn an income, and to create an impact with their work. Every dollar of Seiko product that a Seiko Fellow sells in the United States directly contributes to her soul sister's university scholarship back here. Last year, we were able to grant each of our university-bound women with a 400% scholarship towards college. And 100% of the women have continued on to university and are either currently in school or have graduated from college and are out in the marketplace pursuing their dreams. I am shocked at how many people go through life without having someone look them in the eye and say, you are awesome, you are bold, you are smart, my company will be better, my community will be better if you will be a part of it. It's really remarkable how transformative that can be for someone. When we first started Seiko, we had no background in business, we had no background in fashion, we had no background in manufacturing. But for me, I've actually realized that the Lord is so graciously inviting me into this story. My job is to just show up and say yes.